Well, a way of trying to maximize to make sure you're going to look good is to find your good side.
Do you think that's okay, so I'm going to ask, is that a confidence thing? So, like, if somebody knows they're on the good side, wouldn't they have more confidence and have higher energy in that picture?
Probably so, because they're not going to be as self-conscious.
They're not going to be here as much as they're going to be here.
Yeah, if they feel like this is my, like, damn, that's my good side.
Like, hold on, let me twist the hips this way, got to cross my feet this way, and like the whole.
But it's that muscle memory. So, as a woman, if you know what your good bodily movement side is, then you just go to it.
Oh, yeah, you strike that pose.
Boom.
Done.
And you don't have to worry. You're like, see, looks good. The secrets of Jaimee Dorris.
I love this. And welcome to the Biohack Life podcast, everyone. This is episode number 8 with Jaimee Dorris.
I'm number 8? Oh, it's my lucky number.
Miss Congeniality herself. Yes, exactly. Like, I'm talking like state representative Miss Congeniality and everything. And we're going to have fun today.
I think we are too. I've always liked you.
Last time we got together, we had a lot of fun.
I sat on your back.
She sat on I lost a bet. She sat on my back. I had to do push-ups for her TV show.
And you did my measurements.
Yeah, that's the bet I lost.
Yes.
That's the bet I lost.
So this time the roles are reversed and you're interviewing me.
I am interviewing you this time.
But I may switch it.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
That's cool. I appreciate that. Okay. I always love starting out the interview this way. What is something you're grateful for?
Oh my gosh. You know what I am absolutely and totally grateful for?
What?
You.
Me?
Yes. You invited me to this space today and you've got this whole studio and you want to hear information from me.
I do.
And I think everyone wants to feel heard. So I'm grateful for
I want
this
to be
opportunity.
a conduit for your message today. And I'm thankful that you drove an hour to get here.
I did, but you know what? It was it was caffeinated drive.
Okay,
I had to stop and get a coffee.
Yeah. my first guess, I love Axio. It's like a brain food energy kind of thing. Yeah, it's amazing. He's sitting here straight to the dome like a pixie stick during the interview.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'll give you some before you leave.
Oh.
You'll love it.
Okay.
But yeah, so thank you. Thank you for coming this way.
You're welcome.
I love this question. I think it's going to be a good one for you. Okay. If you had to have a walkout song for life, what would it be?
A walkout song? I told you should have prepped me with...
No. It's fun asking this just completely random.
I don't know. A walkout song for life.
Right.
It would probably be something with Bruno Mars.
Which one? I mean, there's 9 million hits the dude has. He's
when he talks
talented.
about Michelle Pfeiffer, that white gold. This one for them hood girls, them good girls, straight masterpiece. Styling, wilding, living up in a city. That would probably
yes. That is so you.
How does it end?
I don't know, but you were doing a great job. I mean, you can keep going if you want to.
Hot damn. Okay. Yeah.
That's absolutely you. I could see that with your energy. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. So one of the reasons I want to have you on today is what I was just talking to you about. The biohacked life is human optimization, living your best life. I know it's cliche. I hate it, but that's what it's about. That pursuit of happiness, the pursuit of more. You're always doing that. Every time I turn around, you're doing something else.
Ooh, is that how I'm perceived?
But it's okay, let me rephrase that a different way. It's always you are trying to better yourself, trying to achieve something more. Does that sound better?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Trying to always doing something else sounds wishy-washy.
Right. Yeah. That's not you. You're always on message.
Well, hopefully, that's a goal of mine, is to try to be consistent with who I am and then communicating that out.
Right.
Okay.
And who would you say you are?
Well, I am a star in training. I got my little training wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the glamour star of the 1940s in training. Oh, mixed in with James Corden. I'm like James Corden, but Hollywood glam in training.
So maybe after the episode, we do some carpool karaoke.
I was brainstorming some carpool karaoke on the way here. I want to do this really cool Christmas one. So anyways,
just get somebody in the car that can actually sing, not like me.
You can't sing?
I'm dreaming of. Like I could get that like I could get that deep, but like nothing other than that. Like no jingle bells or anything.
What? That sounded good.
We'll stick in some auto tune, and
Okay.
then we'll make it sound
Okay.
good.
All right.
Okay, so you're in training to be a star. Why do you want to be a star?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Ever since I was a little kid, I just wanted to be a star. And I think the more I have delved into that desire, I've also delved into why. For myself. And I think you would understand this, like, why is it that I want to do that? Because that helps me to understand, like, I guess what the path is going to be for that. But yeah, first it's giving myself permission to say that I want to be a star. Wow, that takes some confidence.
Oh, you're so snobby and cocky for
well,
saying
you know
that.
what? I'm sorry. That little girl, we give kids the opportunity to be whatever they want in their head. But then as you become an adult, it's like you
can't
gotta
do
be
that.
serious
Right.
and you can't be, self
Nope.
whatever. But no, I've just always wanted to be a star. And I don't really know what it looks like. I know what it feels like. And it feels like living my best life. Is that the cliche of this
Full
podcast?
circle.
Oh, God. Bam. We're done.
Done.
I'm too hot. Hot damn.
Y'all have a great day. This is going to be a fun hour. Okay. Well, but one of the things I've noticed inside of inside of you trying to be a star is you're always elevating others.
Am I?
You are.
That's the thing I feel like I struggle the most with is that I always feel like everything I'm doing is like self-serving. And then I judge it and go, no, I need to be worrying about making sure I'm helping other people. And then like that little star inside of me goes, I just want to be a star. Like, is that not good enough? So I'm so glad you said that.
And we're sober. No, it's true. Like even Miss Congeniality, like the whole like mission behind Miss Congeniality was you're like lifting up local Mississippians. Okay, now the hard part with that is, yes, not a lot of people can match your energy.
No.
But that's not your fault.
And that's okay because as
okay.
the host of the show, I'm trying to be more of the comedian than I am trying to be Barbara Walters.
Right.
I'm just playing off of people. That's why I say James Corden. He's like my idol because he's a big comedian.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be fun and lively. So I think it's fine that people don't match my energy.
I agree.
Helps to see the difference.
But the beautiful thing about that is it's authentic with you. Like you see some people on TV that you can just tell like, oh, that is just not who they are. Like you're trying way too hard. Like just settle into who you are and just live in that space. Like my energy, it's elevated around you because I grab onto some of it and I love that. But like that's not like my normal authentic energy.
Really?
Is to be at that level.
But this is how I see you all the time.
Yeah, because you come around me.
Oh.
And like you're on like level 9.8. I hover around a 7.2. But then when I get around you, I'm like at least an 8.5.
Oh, I'm so glad. Well, the funny thing about that is I think you will see in this podcast or this interview is that I have a lot of self-doubt and self-judging.
It's already coming out, yeah.
Yes. So what's funny about that is I'm not constantly this energetic.
No.
I'm this energetic. This is where I like to be. This is my ideal self. But sometimes when I'm at home and I'm just working on whatever and I'm frustrated with something or something's not working out, I'm at like a 1.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I'm not always like this, but this is where I like to be.
Mm-hmm. This is like the best version of you, like you feel.
Absolutely.
So I'm the same way. A lot of people now, when I tell them, I used to be a really bad shy introvert, they're like, how?
Yeah.
I see you speaking on stage. I see you on, social media 24/7. I see you doing all this stuff. How are you a shy introvert? I'm like, that's because when I'm alone, like in my room, like that's me. Like I don't talk. I can go a day or two without talking, and I'm fine with that.
You don't talk to yourself?
Oh, in my head, but I don't talk out loud a whole lot.
Oh.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll talk about that later. But like I'm okay with silence.
Yeah.
But on day 3 of that, day 3 or 4, I'm like, I need people. I need energy. And I have to get out of that.
Okay, so what's your personality? What's your Myers-Briggs? Have you ever done it before?
Yeah, and I wrote it down. I don't really.
Are you an E or an I?
I'm definitely an I.
You're an I?
Absolutely. Every time I've ever taken the test, I'm an I.
INT.
Was it J?
You're a J. INTJ.
What's a J again?
Judging versus perceiving.
Oh no, I'm definitely perceiving.
Okay. INTP.
Yeah, something like that. Because I tend to sit back and observe more than I'm in the middle.
Okay.
I'll sit back. Like, I don't mind being in the middle, but if I'm not consciously making myself in the middle, I'll be in the back looking and like checking everything out first.
Yeah. Learning.
Right.
Growing.
Observing.
Mm-hmm.
Just
finding ways to be your best self.
I'll just psychologically evaluating everything I'm watching. Like, okay, this person's dealing with this, and they're talking to this person about this, and look at their body language, how they're interacting there, and that's really funny because she's absolutely not liking him right now, but being really nice to him. Because
Do not go to a party when Robby's going to be there because he's going to be like, analyzing everything. That's hilarious.
It's so fun to me though. Like when I go to like a bar situation, and like I could like not even be drinking, but just like hanging out and watching the way like men approach women and they interact, and I'm just watching it, and the whole time like I'm not hearing anything they're saying, but I know exactly what's going on, and I love that.
You're so cute. You must be alone at the bar.
Well, yeah.
A lot of people would be surprised to go into my house. My house is very quiet. I don't have music playing. I don't like a lot of talking. I like my house to be very quiet because it is a place for like fresh ideas to come. Mm-hmm. It's almost like fertile soil. And I don't like to constantly be tainted by everybody's feelings and everybody's stories and all of that kind of stuff, because then it taints something new that may be coming out. So, and I guess that's just part of my personality.
I love that word, but go ahead.
What word?
Taint.
Taint. Well, taint.
So do you meditate?
Yes, I meditate. I do a lot of yoga.
A lot of yoga.
I read a lot.
Okay.
So I do spend a lot of time alone. Mm-hmm. But what I find is I need that to kind of recalibrate, so to speak, and make sure I'm, I guess, like deep in myself. And then I love performing.
Yeah,
I love being out and like being a star. And so I have these two very like different personalities.
Mm-hmm. Me too. But what's beautiful about that is I wish more people would do exactly what you talked about. In my coaching practice, I try to get my clients to understand, like, you live your life, like your energy in your life is a cup. So what you just described is, hey, I'm in my house, I'm in my quiet time, I'm reading, I'm doing my yoga, I'm constantly pouring happiness, fulfillment, and joy into my cup to the point where it's starting to overflow. And holy crap, I need to go give this to as many people as possible. Like, I just need to go love on people, go give them the energy, and just let everything that's inside of me free.
I've never looked at it that way. That's exactly what I do.
Yeah.
And I'm about to start pouring.
I know you are.
Did you see the video that I just
YouTube
launched
series.
the other day?
You're starting like a new YouTube series or new
No, it's not a new
vlog
series. It's the same series I've been doing, but I'm just steadily tweaking.
Yeah.
As a creative, I have to be very careful from trying to constantly reinvent my wheel, and instead just tweak a little. Right. And then tweak a little and be okay knowing that the audience can still follow along without everything having to be so perfect.
Yeah. Document, don't create.
Yes. So basically, I decided I needed to put out like a Jaimee Dorris exposed video. And the point was simply to tell people why I do what I do. Like, what's the message behind it? And it's the little girl in me that doesn't want to be a doormat, basically. That's the opposite of the star. The star's over here, the doormat's over here. That's really the reason. But I wanted to put that out so that when people ask me those questions, I could say, just go watch Jaimee Dorris exposed.
Right.
But no, I'm still doing Miss Congeniality. I just want to keep exploring and growing and expanding on it. And I think you're going to see a lot more coming out.
Good. We need to.
Hopefully. What would you like to see?
You just keep doing what you're doing. I mean, there's so many, and yeah, I do complain about Mississippi sometimes, just at the pace in which we're improving. But that being said, I lived in LA last year. I spent some time all over. But when I came back to Mississippi, I had an appreciation for the people here. We have some amazing people here.
Yes, we do.
And yeah, it's not the mentality that I loved around some other parts of the country, but as far as like just loving good people.
At their very core.
Right.
Not all the superficial stuff on top, not all the intellect of what should be ideally whatever, but at the core, I think the people from Mississippi are the friendliest people.
I totally agree with that.
And that makes that, and like the relationships you build in life, that's what makes your life, or all the relationships around you. And I think a lot of people have that same experience that you're talking about is, yeah, I mean, I've traveled and I've experienced all these different cultures and different places, but wow, when I come back home, I realize that's what was missing. These just genuine people.
Yeah. There's something to that.
Yeah, there is. And look, we did a road trip, my family and I, during the summer.
I watched.
And we took, you watched the Daily Chronicle.
I watched it.
So we did this RV trip. And the neatest thing is that every time we got to a new state, we stopped and took pictures outside of the welcome sign.
Yeah.
It wasn't until we got to Mississippi, we got out, we got our welcome home to Mississippi sign picture. Somebody pulled over on the side of the road and said, "Excuse me, did y'all break down? Do y'all need some help?" And we were like, we have done this like 20
Welcome
times.
home.
And no other place did somebody stop to see if we needed help. And I went, that is why I love Mississippi. Damn it, I wish more people knew that.
Right. So when I was living in LA last year, the thing I fell in love with about that world was how like hungry and ambitious everyone is. Everybody moves to freaking LA to accomplish a dream. But you have to, there's a caveat to that. You have to understand that they're living out there to accomplish their dream. So it's like, hey, look, we all like want to do something great, but I'm here to serve me. Mississippi, like it's just more of a community atmosphere. And people are just welcoming, like, yeah, come on in. Like, hey, you need some help with that? It's just a different world almost.
Yeah, everybody's not walking around saying, here, buy my CD.
Right.
Yeah. Look, it was funny. I went to LA with my son in like April, I think, and we were literally right there downtown, right outside of the Chinese theater, and we were bombarded by literally, here, buy my CD. Hey, take a picture here.
Yeah.
It was like everybody trying to sell me their dream. And
Right.
I'm like, this is exhausting. Wow. And it's not that there's anything wrong with any one person wanting to pursue their dream. I'm doing that and you are too.
100%.
But wow, it's exhausting. And when you come home, it's just this like, we don't all need that.
And my whole thing with everything I've tried to do since becoming an entrepreneur, I hate working by myself. I do. I hate working by myself. Like I'm driven, I'm motivated, I have those characteristics, but at the end of the day, I don't like trying to accomplish big things by myself. So
Why is that?
I think it's, like I need counterbalance with some of my ideas so I don't keep chasing rabbit holes and being an idea fairy. But also, I have a very like service mentality. So if I know like I'm accomplishing a dream with someone else, I'm committed to them almost more than I'm committed to myself.
Really?
So if we lock arms in a dream, I'm going to almost do this more because I told them this is what we're going to do than I would do it for myself.
I need you on my team. I'm serious as a heart attack.
Anyway.
Are you looking for a job? I'm joking. I don't have any money.
I mean, charity, why not? I have my own nonprofit, but whew, man, hey, you can come work with me on that. Need all the help we can get. So yeah, I don't like working by myself. It's just not fun to me. I need, and part of, so when you're talking about like the community and people just loving on each other, there was a new study come out, 2 studies come out in the last few months. One of them it's a longevity study on, they wanted to study all these cultures, see like what attributes lead to the longest life. It has nothing to do with diet. It has nothing to do with exercise. The attribute that they found to be the common denominator between all the cultures that live the longest is relationships.
Oh, that does not surprise me at all.
No.
Not at all.
And then the second study that came out, and this one actually came out last month, I think, loneliness. So the exact opposite of relationships, loneliness, is worse for you than smoking 14 cigarettes a day.
I'm also not surprised. You know, it's funny that you mentioned LA, and of course, we're talking about Mississippi, and we're in Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
Is that last year, U.S. News and World Report came up with a new metric called the quality of life metric,
They sure
where
did.
they classified all the states in
Mm-hmm.
their appropriate ranking. And Mississippi is normally number 49, number 49, number 50, and all those
Yeah.
other metrics. But this year, when they brought out the quality of life, Mississippi was number 6 nationwide for quality of life. And conversely, the state of California was dead last
Yeah.
for quality of life. And now quality of life, it measured things like water quality, air quality, but also community relationships. And I thought that was interesting because it was like the first time Mississippi was actually measured in a way that we do well in. Now, obviously, we don't do so well in those other metrics, but we do
Yeah.
do well there. Whereas a place like California that everyone's dying to get to, the quality of life isn't as high.
Right.
Isn't that weird?
I think a lot of that's perspective,
Yeah.
but that's just me.
Yeah.
Just because I truly believe that we let our circumstances and our surroundings dictate more of our life than we should.
Yeah.
Instead of looking at everything full of gratitude, we look at it as an obstacle in my way, or this person's holding me down, or this, that, and the other. We live in freaking America.
Yeah. I know. You have
Like,
so many opportunities.
Why are you
around
complaining right now? You literally can go do anything you want to do.
Yeah.
There's kids right now on the internet getting paid $250,000 a month to play video games.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah, we live in a very interesting time, but I always tell people we live in an even harder time because I call myself an old school millennial. And so I suffer from the millennial disease of fear of I can do everything. How do I choose what to do?
Right. Yeah.
That's a whole nother topic.
I
but
have a
yes.
consultant friend of mine, and I sometimes run ideas by her, and she literally calls me an idea fairy.
Yes. You always have a new idea. Can you just figure out one and stick to it?
That's what she kept telling me. She said, Robbie, find one thing, get really good at that one thing, make a business out of it, and then move on to your next idea. And then pursue that
then
one
do the
till
same
it
thing.
either thrives or dies. Move on to the next one.
Yes.
And I have a really hard time with that.
Yes. Yes. It's millennial disease.
Hence the podcast.
I love you.
Okay. What is your purpose?
My purpose?
Yeah.
I think my purpose is to literally let women, and it's funny because here's my purpose is actually some type of like serving others, which is surprising for me again, because I have this whole star thing. But I really think my purpose is to walk around and be like this bold woman that lets other women know it's their birthright to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
I really do think that's my purpose. It's really weird. I don't know where it came from. But it's almost like this invitation to be yourself fully and to be authentic and to,
So I was just about to say.
yeah, just like, I deserve to be here and I deserve to be happy and I deserve to have fun and I deserve to smile and I deserve to feel relaxed and I deserve to experience pleasure. That's it.
I have my opinion on this, but what do you feel keeps most women from living their authentic life?
Oh, obligations. And it's the judgment of their obligation too. So I think women have this like, in order to be perfect or have a great life, I need to do this, and everything's got to be perfect.
Societal norms.
Well, and some of it's self-imposed.
Yeah.
Because I know as an A-type person or A-type woman, should I say, I want everything to be perfect. I want to have a perfect marriage. I want to have perfect children. I want to have a perfect home. I want to have perfect Thanksgiving. I want to have perfect. But you can't have everything perfect.
No.
It's like you have to be okay with 80%. Hey, I'm an 80% good mom. I'm an 80% good cook. I'm an 80% because studies show that you get literally 80% of the profit off of 20% of the energy.
Yep, 80-20 rule.
It is. And so it's like, I think as women, as A-type women, especially in this culture, we're trying to get to 100% in every category. I have to have the most rock hard abs and I've got to have the best Thanksgiving feast and and then they're basically.
And then it's not real unless I put it on here and everybody tells me it's real.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a whole nother thing. But then they're exhausted. They're exhausted and they have no room to sit down and meditate and spend some time filling their cup and figuring out what it is that they really ultimately want.
Yes, I agree. I think it's just that we get busy chasing what we've been programmed to be, and we forget to step back and say, "The hell do I want out of this life?
Yeah.
Why am I here? Like, what do I want? where do I want to go? What purpose am I living? What are my gifts that I should be
How
living
can I
and
serve? Yeah. Bam.
Exactly.
Bam. Look, and something I'm doing this year, it's funny because you mentioned the whole thing about I'm always evolving or I'm always doing something. I am always looking for truth. I'm a truth seeker and I'm a truth speaker too.
Right.
That rhymes. I'm a truth seeker and I'm a truth speaker. Okay, I'm gonna remember that. Anyways, I'm always looking for the truth, but I'm always looking for the truth within myself. And so this year, my whole family got the text from me. Dear family, after much deliberation, I have decided that I am no longer giving gifts for this Christmas to adults.
Did you say it that formally?
It was very formal. It was a text message, and I made sure it was grammatically correct.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it was very, and then it was basically, I just want to focus on moments and experiences and extending our holiday to be a time of spending time with togetherness, doing things together, not running around buying gifts for people because nobody
memories.
here needs anything. We all got plenty of crap.
And there's plenty of people who actually need versus want.
Yes, exactly. So look, I sent this to my family. Of course, they're going, of course, one of Jaimee's texts of how she's going to be a rebel to the traditions or to what I have been told I need to do.
Right.
I'm always questioning and I'm always looking for truth.
As you should.
Yeah, but not enough people do that. They go, no, I don't want to rock the boat. Rock the boat.
Every day.
Every day.
Like there's nothing about my life right now that is like societal norm. I mean, I'm saying the way
your shoes.
Okay.
They're Converse, and that's very popular.
My Chuck T's, besides...
They're not Converse?
Yeah, same thing.
Okay. All right. Yes. So they're...
Goofball.
I don't wear Converse.
But like the way I live my life. So I live in South Mississippi. I'm 34. I've never been married. No kids. I just signed a 3-month contract to live where I'm at right now, and 3 months was a little long for me. And any given day, I literally could pack up everything I own, move across the country, and I'm not scared to do that. And none of that scares me. Like I used to let it like totally just kill me. I used to let not being able to check off the boxes like defeat me.
Oh, because at 34, where should you be according to how you were raised?
Right. I should
as a
be
man.
Married, like at least have like 8 or 9-year-old kids by now. I should have at least, 34. So I should at least have like 10 to 12 years put into a company with retirement benefits. And
so women aren't the only ones. Men experience this too. Where you should be.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
And I should be married. I should be providing for a wife and raising kids and picket fence dog.
He's single.
Paying a mortgage, all that as a dollar bill, happily.
Well, I'm glad you're so comfortable with that.
I am.
Being out of the box. I'm relatively comfortable being out of the box. I'm okay being completely and totally crazy.
I know that. But here's the thing, though. How hard is it for you to do that?
To be crazy?
Yeah.
Not as hard as you would think. I am utterly scared to die with a regret. That is what I'm most scared of.
Okay.
And I think that fuels me because it's like I have this serious conversation with myself. Well, if you're too scared to do that, well, one day when you're going to die, what are you going to say to yourself? Oh, I was scared.
Right.
So I think that's what makes me like, it's easier for me to do the risky stuff. My sister used to always say when we were growing up, like, oh my God, Jaimee, don't talk. Because like we'd get around her friends and her friends would do something really dumb. And then I would go, that was dumb. And my sister would be like equally impressed and then mortified.
Right.
Like, how could you say that? And I'm like, this is what you got to say,
Float out of me.
But really what it boils down to is this, like, there are boundaries where I do feel like, okay, this is hard for me to do this one particular thing. Yes. But for the most part, I think it's a lot easier for me because I am most concerned about dying with regret.
I love that. And we parallel on that.
Do you too?
Well, I'm a shy natural introvert. Like everything I do now is outside my comfort zone. My biggest fear is getting to heaven one day, because I firmly believe that's where I'm going. I'm working on it at least. Right? Yeah, exactly.
That's your idea, Fair. I don't know why I associated this with heaven, but okay.
I was like hoping you were like flapping like an angel, not a fairy. But
in my brain, it kind of got mixed up.
yeah,
Go
cool.
ahead.
Fairy angel, same thing, right? Yeah. Anyway, getting to heaven and meeting the man I was supposed to become, and like that being really unfamiliar.
The man you were supposed to be?
Yeah.
So for you, you really do have this idea that you broke out of a mold.
I literally feel like if I would have continued on the track I was on, yeah, that would have been a completely different life than the track I'm on right now. And here's what the realization was for me. And it all started like in my last period of like really dark, deep depression. I realized that I was put on this earth for a reason, and I had gifts inside of me. And every day I said no to those gifts, I'm denying my maker.
Yeah, and you're denying everyone around you
Exactly.
to experience it.
Exactly. So I had to surrender, and that surrendering process to be fully surrendered to my gifts was about a 3-year process, where I just...
That's fast.
Well, it was a 3-year process on the end of a 10-year process. Like 10 years of personal growth, and then 3 years after the book was when I really was just like deep doing the work. So yeah, it was, now I live unapologetically in the service of my gifts, and I give my life to that. And anything that comes out of that, good or bad, I can't control. All I can control is me living in the service of my gifts.
Wow, and that is so freeing. Elizabeth Gilbert wrote a book, The Big Magic. Have you heard of it?
Yes.
Have you read it? Or
No, I have not read it.
Okay, I did the audiobook, so I did the cheating version, but whatever.
That's cool.
She has her premise about creativity, and it parallels with what you just said. Her premise about creativity is that it's like you can't even take credit for it. If God has given you this gift or this idea or this creativity, and you let it out, or you paint it, or you draw it, or you write it, or you produce it, and it sucks, ain't your fault. You were just doing what was put on you to do. You were just living your gifts.
Who said it sucks?
Well, if somebody else does. But likewise, if it is amazing, it's also not all yours.
Once again, you're just a conduit.
Yes. And that frees you to just be yourself, because it's not this whole like everything's got to be so personal, like I suck or I'm good. Yeah. So it's neat that it's kind of like the big magic concept that you were just talking about.
Yeah, I have to. And it like cemented for me, honestly, like probably about 2 months ago. Like I've been like trying to do this, just surrender to my gifts, surrender to my authenticity. And it's been hard because growing up with a fat kid, you have all these insecurities and you're very judgmental, like you know. And a few weeks ago, me and my business partner were driving to San Antonio for business. And on the way there, we just said, you know what? We don't know what's going to happen, but we're totally just going to surrender to our gifts. And every contact we make this weekend, we're just going to love on them to our utmost potential and see what happens.
And what happened?
We had the most amazing weekend. It's
like getting out of your own way.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
100%. That's all it was. Like once you get rid of the insecurities and judgments and just let who you are flow, it's amazing what happens in this world.
Wow. I had an experience just like that a few weeks ago. In fact, I'm releasing a video about it next week. It was an experience I had. What did you say?
Can we have a spoiler?
Yeah, of course. I had an experience. My son and I went up to Natchez, and we were going up there for the Hot Air Balloon Festival.
Right. Yep. Saw that.
Yes. Well,
sounds like I stalk you, but go ahead.
It sounds like a what?
Sounds like I stalk you on social media.
It's okay. I'm glad you do. At least I know I have a fan. I'm like, I got a fan. All I need is 9 more. Really. So anyways, we went up there for the Hot Air Balloon Festival, and my goal was to get inside of a balloon and go do the balloon ride. They don't do this for the public. I figured as long as I had a sash, I was going to be made. It's all good. Well, end up being, and this is something I learned about hot air ballooning because I knew absolutely nothing about it, was that it's like a fair weather sport. Like you can only do it in really good weather.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was horrible weather all weekend. And that was the reason we were there. We were going to shoot a show going up in the balloon. But the reason this relates to what you were just saying is while we were like in the process of trying to figure out if we were going to be able to fly or not, there was this total stranger. His name's Jim Brownie. He walked up to me and he was like, "Hey, you need to go to the brunch tomorrow. And I'm like, what brunch? He's like, a few friends of mine, we're just having this little brunch. You should come with your son. I was like, well, I guess we have nothing else to do. Okay. And of course I'm scared because I'm not going to know anybody. And I'm like, and it's this getting out of your own way thing.
You didn't say no.
I just said, okay, I'm going to face this fear of going to this party. Nobody knows me. I don't know what to expect at all at this party. I mean, literally, a stranger invited me to a party to somebody else's house.
Right.
Okay. It was the place to be in Natchez for the weekend. We stumbled upon the unofficial hot air balloon house party on the river at like the Who's Who Natchez Royalty House. And they did this whole like prayer over the hot air balloon people and then covered everybody with champagne. They had a band. I mean, it was just like, well, my weekend would have sucked if I would have said no to this because this is the only thing that happened.
Yeah. And why wouldn't they have Miss Congeniality there? It's only fitting.
Exactly. But it was that moment where I could have said, no, I'm going to wait for the hot air balloon, which never happened.
Never happened.
Yeah. So anyway, the video is coming out on Wednesday.
I love that. And that happened to me a couple weeks ago too.
Really?
Yeah. So I just moved into a new place in Gulfport and I was going to my storage unit in D'Iberville because that's where I used to live in D'Iberville.
Yes, that's where I interviewed you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm driving to my storage unit and I have like a tank top, gym shorts, and tennis shoes on. I'm like, I'm just going to my storage unit. I got to grab stuff, move to my new place. And I'm driving. One of my friends calls me, Leslie Robinson, works for the city of D'Iberville. She calls me and goes, hey, what are you doing? I was like, I'm driving my storage unit. Come to the D'Iberville business lunch.
You actually answered the phone?
Yeah.
Wow.
Why?
I'm just impressed.
Do I not answer the phone?
No, I don't. I'm like,
If one of your friends calls you, you answer the phone. Okay, maybe not. You text me.
Okay, go ahead. Anyways, so she said.
So she invited me to this luncheon, and I'm like, Leslie, I'm in a tank top and gym shorts. You want me to come to the business lunch? Like, no, that's not happening.
Well, because your business is
well,
muscle.
That was exactly what she said.
Really? I just made that up.
No, she said, Robby, you work out for a living. Like, it's okay.
That's okay if
that's your business attire.
Yes.
I was like, yeah, but I'm still not.
It's your marketing tool.
But then I remembered, like, hey, bro, you made a promise yourself to quit saying no to so much. I looked in the back of my car. I had a T-shirt in the back of my car with actual sleeves on it. So I pull up, I change in the parking lot, throw a T-shirt on, and I walk in. As soon as I walk in, she meets me at the front door. Just, I volunteered you to speak today too.
Well, of course, that's why she invited you. But you're a great speaker.
But like, my mind is on like moving and what I gotta get out of my storage. And,
you're like in a different gear.
Yeah, I'm in a different
gear.
I'm like,
man, I'm like on like low
right
over here.
And she said, "Hey, I want you to speak today." I'm like, "All right, let's do it."
Can't say no.
Like, is there any topics? She goes, "No, just do what you do."
That's the scariest. When
like,
people say, "Just be you," what does that mean?
Yeah, like, and then I started thinking, okay, I'm at the D'Iberville business lunch, so I'm talking to a bunch of business professionals. I'm not going to talk to them about eating healthy because I see what they're eating. Like, that's not going to happen.
They're going to feel guilty while they eat.
Right? Yeah. Let's not do that. Let's not make people feel bad. So at that point, I'm like, hey, this is business people. They're in the community. Let's talk about your nonprofit. So I did like
So you have like already like little like boxes of topics to talk about. God, you're so much ahead of me in this. Oh, wow.
Yeah, you act like you're short for words.
What?
I said you act like you're short for words ever.
But when people ask me to speak, I'm like, about what? They're like, just be you. I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I tell myself I need to like have certain topics that I've already brainstormed, kind of beginning, middle, and end.
Right.
And then I can kind of, fill in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, so listen, I just saw, like, I took a uncomfortable situation at first, like it's awkward. And I'm like, okay, how can I turn this into an opportunity? So I'm like, let's talk about my nonprofit. I gave him like a 3-minute spill about who I was, where I come from, my battles with mental health. Yeah.
You showed them your muscles.
With mental health.
Oh, okay.
And not so much physical health. Different story. But I told him like my mission, like what I'm trying to do and get into schools, work in schools with mental health and create awareness. And 2 weeks after that event, that I was not going to speak at. 2 weeks after that event, we did an event at Scarlet Pearl Casino where we invited the seniors from D'Iberville High School. We fed them. We gave them gift cards to Chick-fil-A in D'Iberville because Chick-fil-A in D'Iberville is awesome. Thank you, Scarlet Pearl. We put together this event in 2 weeks.
From that talk. Wow.
We got D'Iberville High School approval. We got some coaches there. Yeah.
That's incredible.
It wasn't just me. It was like a team effort to put this together. But it started when I didn't say no.
Yes.
And I absolutely wanted to say no.
Oh.
So yeah, this a parallel to your story. Mm-hmm. Like, just don't say no. Like, okay, if you know it's stupid or something going to harm you, yes, use some logical thinking, but don't say no to potential opportunities.
Well, but what I find interesting about this particular topic is for women, I talk out of both sides of my mouth. Okay, one thing would be, say yes to things that you're scared of, But then I would also tell women, because that's primarily my audience, except for you, Robby.
Except for me, I'm the weirdo.
Is I tell women, say no. Say no to everything, but it's like two different topics. It's like, say no when somebody says, do you want to join in on the junior auxiliary? No.
Right.
Not that there's anything wrong with the junior auxiliary. I think it's great what y'all do, but no, I'm not doing that.
Stay on mission.
Yes, stay on point, stay on your focus, because you cannot be 100% for everything. You have to pick.
Right.
So it's like, yes, say no to a lot of things, most things, but then say yes to those things that you secretly kind of want to, but then you're kind of scared. It's almost like you have to ask yourself, why am I saying no? Why am I going, oh no, I don't want to go? Why?
Right.
Is it because you're scared, or is it because you really just don't want to? And is that even true?
Yeah. Guarding your energy.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to the cup.
Yes, you've got to fill up your cup before you can let it run over.
Exactly. You got to pour from the overflow. But part of that filling up your cup is you got to make sure there's no holes in that damn thing. Mm-hmm. You got to make sure it's not being drained out in every different direction while you're trying to pour into it. It's being drained out, so therefore you're never able to pour from the overflow. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to go too much in this book because I try not to cuss my show, but Mark Mason wrote a phenomenal book about caring about what's important. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say the name of the book, but if you look up Mark Mason, you'll see it.
Oh, I read it.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal book.
Why won't you say the name of the? You don't cuss at all on your podcast?
I try not to.
Oh, okay. Do you bleep it out? Do you just tell people?
Trickle of the kids, right?
Okay, all right. Yeah. I would just be like, okay, just be careful. There may be a few slip ups. Yeah. What is the not to give so many?
Yeah.
F's.
Well, basically, you only have a tank.
So much F's.
Yeah, to give.
To give. We'll just go with F's.
Yeah. So you only have so many F's to give, so you have to be guarded in which ones you give it to.
Yes. You can't give that many F's to Thanksgiving and to the wreath on the door and to the junior auxiliary and to going to the gym and to being the perfect mom. Oh, and your career and making sure you have the bathing suit body.
Because then you're stressed.
Yes.
And it affects everything.
Yeah. You got a lot of holes in them cups.
Yeah. And I tell people all the time, like, do you realize what you're stressed about right now?
It's meaningless.
Like, it's not going to matter tomorrow that you're stressing about this right now. That person just cut you off in traffic. You're about to have an aneurysm because this person cut you off. They could be having a bad day.
Yeah.
And they didn't hit you. They didn't drive you off the road. You're still alive. Breathe.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay. But no, we're going to let that person that cut us off ruin our entire day.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I have a belief, and that is that most people are doing the best they can.
Right.
And I think if you have that belief, you don't take things as personally. You realize that most people aren't paying attention to you. They're not looking at you. They don't care about you. Not that in a bad way.
It's not personal.
They're worried about themselves and
yeah.
whatever it is they have going on. So if they offend you, it's not about you.
No, it's not. But because we're ego driven, it is about us.
Yeah.
Oh, that person just bobbed and weave out of traffic and cut off 40 people. They did that intentionally to me.
Yeah.
Or that,
so that I'd be late.
Or that
to my luncheon where I'm wearing
mean barista at Starbucks ruined my latte. And it was a personal attack on me, so I'm going to go on Facebook and rant about it for 4 hours and let it fester inside of me. Like, no, actually, they probably just could have made a mistake.
Yeah, you're so funny.
They might be worried about paying their rent tonight.
Yeah.
So
they just got broken up on.
Exactly. I'm sorry, they forgot your soy and put almond milk in it. Like the world's not going to end. First world problems, right?
I call it first world white girl problems. That's what my husband calls it. He's like, baby, that is such a first world white girl problem.
Right. Yeah. I'm trying to get so one of my business partners owns Snow Boogers. You ever been?
No, I have not.
Have you heard
Snow
about it?
boogers?
Yeah, Snow Boogers. Oh, you would love it. It's a gourmet dessert food truck.
Boogers. Where is it?
There's 3 standalone locations, but it's a food truck, so it goes
Okay.
everywhere, all the festivals, everything. And I'm trying to get them. Like, we just missed the window, but I wanted to get them to make a basic white girl dessert, and just like have it all like pumpkin spiced and pumpkined out, and just call it the basic white girl.
Basic white girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't eat pumpkin spice this time of year.
Really?
I like pumpkin spice, but I don't go for that. I have my tried and trues because I don't give that many F's
Right.
about everything all day long. So I'm a believer of habit, and so if I find the things that I like, I just stick to those.
Discipline
man.
is freedom.
I don't need to try your pumpkin spice. I know what I like.
I mean, your shirt's kind of the color of pumpkin spice.
Don't remind me. I always wear bright colors, and you got me on the wrong day, Robbie. I don't know what happened to my fashion sense today. Yeah.
Yeah, last time we were together, she was wearing a bright red evening gown while sitting on my back, and I'm doing push-ups because I lost a bet.
Yes. Yes, you're very strong.
Or you're very light, one or the other.
No, that is not the truth. Oh my god.
All right, so what's the impact you want to leave on the world? Because you're doing a lot right now. You're putting out a lot of content. You're doing a lot. What's the impact you want to have on the world?
Well, I think like most people who want to be stars, you want to be remembered. I would like to be remembered for
what?
For moments of clarity within myself, and moments where when somebody was absorbing that content or heard something, that it made this click in their life and it changed something. I would like to do something national. I would like to be a messenger of change. I want to be edgy. I want to be like radical in some weird like femininity, feminist, James Corden kind of way.
Okay, answer this question.
Okay.
I would be edgy, but.
I would be edgy, but.
Yeah, like what's stopping you?
Oh. It's funny that you asked that, because when I put out the video I did on this past Wednesday, which is the Jaimee Dorris Exposed, I did it. I shot some of the scenes naked, but you couldn't see anything.
Right.
But I was naked, and I didn't do it intentionally. It just kind of happened because the AC was broken in my house. But regardless, what's interesting is it took me a week or so to actually get the courage to launch the video, because I was thinking, well, what if so-and-so doesn't like this, or it was like, what are people going to think?
Yeah.
And then I showed it to my sister, and my sister was like, I think it's you. She's like, it's so you,
Well,
except for the fact that, as long as you're okay with people seeing you exposed. She's like, but it's you, Jaimee. So that's the reason I ended up launching it, is because she said, it's so you.
That's a great compliment, though.
It's you. Yeah, exactly. But so I would say, to answer your question, I want to be edgy. I want to, I guess, put out or inspire change and inspire courage out of women. But I would be scared, just like most other people, about maybe negativity from other people, pushback.
How would that affect you?
Well, like,
I'm
not immune to negative comments. I don't think anybody is.
No.
As much as somebody wants to say, oh, I'm okay with haters, I don't want to read it. I don't want to read negative comments. I don't want to hear it. But I think that would be my but. I realize that in order to make change, you're going to have to be okay with half of the population hating you.
Yeah.
And
I hear all kind of fun stuff about myself, but go ahead.
That is uncomfortable, especially coming from the premise of miscongeniality. I can literally get along with anyone.
Yeah.
I could go to a prison and talk to somebody who's about to die tomorrow, and we would have a great conversation. Like, I can get along with anyone. And so it is weird to think that I might put out content that half the world, or half the United States, or half the state of Mississippi, or half the coast thinks sucks or stupid, or they don't agree with. That's hard. But my goal for myself would be, I don't want to die with regret, right? So
Right.
I'm going to do it anyway. Ah!
You're living in duality.
Am I?
Yeah. You are, because you know what's inside of you, and you know what has the potential of coming out.
And I know what has to come out.
Right.
Has to.
It does. I agree. And that's, so I kind of battle that a little bit with myself, and fully surrendering to that authentic self like we talked about earlier. But at the end of the day, I keep telling myself this: I'm going to give my 100% to my authenticity and devote myself to that, because at the end of the day, I believe that's why I'm put on this earth, is to authentically live my gifts and to give 100% to that. And at the end of the day, that's all I can do. All I can do is 100% of that. So if I'm giving 100% to who I believe I was destined to be, if you don't like it at that point, I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, but that's easy. I mean, that's just your intellect talking.
Okay, but hold on.
Your fear.
Let me finish this. If it's somebody that's close to me and they say something negative, it affects me.
Really?
If it's somebody that I have an emotional attachment to, friend, colleague, whatever, it affects me. If it's somebody that is not in my circle that says something negative about me, I'm like, I've never met you before. I'm sorry you feel that way. Please, stop projecting on me.
Well, I have a new one on that one. That is I was watching something with Seth Godin.
Godin, I think.
It's Godin?
Sure, I don't know.
Seth, I thought it was Godin. Anyway, he wrote a recent book about marketing.
We're from Mississippi. We can say anything we want to.
Well, anyways, he wrote a recent book about marketing, and something he said that I decided that I would like to, I guess, incorporate into my life when it comes to haters or people who don't agree with what you're doing, is saying, thank you for your opinion.
Right.
Now I know this is not for you.
Right.
Again, I can have an intellectual understanding of that, but in practice, it's easier said than done. I could say, I mean, I literally have to put habits in place so that I'm literally oblivious to people's opinions.
Are you a people pleaser?
Well, I think we all are in some way. I think I am. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What's your biggest self-judgment?
Ooh. Biggest. I can give you a list.
What's one you fight with the most? What harsh criticism do you always find yourself giving yourself?
Oh, I don't know.
No, you do. You just don't want to say.
Well, I have several that I'm thinking. So I'm trying to be very literal and give you one, And so
What's top three?
Top three, probably my weight.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be something about making sure I stay within my approved weight.
Right.
I have my approved,
Mm-hmm.
You can be between 128 and 134. And if you go to 135, you're toast.
Right.
If you give me 127, hey, that's awesome. Yeah. Okay. So that's probably one. My voice. I'm always putting myself down about my, how loud I am. And I can't help it. It's just the way I am. But if I see myself, because I do a lot of editing of video, and I see myself on camera and I go, oh my God, I didn't do that. Did I do that? I did that in person? Oh God. I embarrass myself.
Okay.
Isn't that weird?
It is, because in those moments, let's be honest, you're flowing.
Yes.
You're in a flow state.
Yes. I am being exactly who I am.
That's your truest self.
I know.
How can you judge yourself for being your truest self?
Because it's not as polished as I'd like it to be. I'm like,
but that authenticity is what people like to see anyway.
I know, but I don't want to always be authentic.
I know. I agree. Sometimes my nerd comes out. I'm like, oh God,
oh my
did you just
God.
really say that?
Oh yeah. And sometimes I flutter and I just say things and weird noises come out and I'll wear things that are totally inappropriate.
Hey, rappers make a living making weird noises.
Robby. Okay, now what's the name of this podcast? We'll come up with a whole song.
The Biohacked Life.
Biohacked Life. The Biohack Life.
Sounds like 80s music.
Okay. See, and I won't want to listen to this back, because then I'll be like, I did not say that. I never like watching myself on camera. I
Really?
hate it. I will get into a corner. I used to do this when I worked for the news because I worked for the news. I have like a TV degree and I worked for the news as a very serious journalist.
Yeah.
And I hated watching myself on television. Like they would be like, my partner would always, my news partner, she would always turn on the news at 6 and watch her story.
See, I could understand that though.
Oh, I hated it.
I could understand that because you're not like you being, welcome to News at 5. Like that's not your authentic self.
No.
That's not you being true to who you really are.
No.
So,
Absolutely
so I
not.
could understand not like
but
watching that.
I'm still like that. So like we have all this video that we put together over the last 6 months that I have this crew and we've been trying to like figure out how we're going to edit it and storytell around it. And some of the scenes are just like cringeworthy to me.
Yeah.
And so as they're like reviewing the sizzle reel, I'm literally in the background and you have to like tell the viewers or the audio listeners what I'm doing. I'm like, my feet are up on the seat and my hands are on my head.
She's like in kindergarten in the earthquake position.
And I got one eye on the TV. And then I'm looking down, and then I'm back up, and then I'm looking down. And they're like, Jaimee, are you okay? I'm like, I just don't like seeing myself. So,
All right.
hope that answers your question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the real reason I want to ask you that question is you're on TV, you're out there making things happen. And a lot of people look at us like, oh, they don't have a problem in the world. They don't judge themselves. They don't. I'm like, you have no idea.
I do this because I have to. So unlike you, I do not think when I get to heaven that there will be some alternate path that I could have taken, but I chose not to, like a Robert Frost poem. I see that I have to do this because it is the life I was made to have. I've known since I was a little girl, and I've literally just been following the path, and it is scary. But scary to me, scarier is not doing it.
Oh, I agree.
So it's like, I don't necessarily like it necessarily. I mean, of course I love it, but I don't necessarily like always like it.
But I see, for me, I didn't know that. I didn't know what that path was until I was like 30 years old.
Yeah.
My first 30 years of my life, I was trying to figure out what my path was. Have you ever read Traveler's Gift by Andy Andrews?
I have not, even though you told me over a year ago to read it. I will put it on my list. In fact, let me grab my phone.
I need you to put that on your list, and I need you to read that book.
Okay.
Because
why?
the last chapter in that book is exactly what we're talking about right now. So that book saved my life, literally.
How did it save it?
It got me. One of the lessons it teaches. I'm not going to do the spoiler because I want you to read it and I want you to enjoy it. It's great on Audible too because
I'm on Audible.
I see you are.
I'm literally going to put it on my. You said Travelers.
The Traveler's Gift by Andy
Travelers.
Andrews.
Does that have 2 L's or 1? Traveler's Guide? No. Time Machine, Travelers. Okay, maybe
You're asking somebody that can't spell.
Okay,
That's
gift.
why I hired an editor.
Travelers.
But
okay.
one of the
It has
lessons
1 L.
it taught in that book, it was like the visualization of that chapter kept coming. That's it. Kept coming into my mind when I was like in my deepest depression, and to the point where it like made me change my life. Like it was so visual. That last chapter was so visual in my mind. It literally made me force myself out of my depression.
And it was about what we're talking about, which is living your gifts,
Right.
living your purpose,
100%.
knowing what it is, and having the courage to do it, even if you're judging yourself.
Right.
You're judging yourself the whole time.
Oh, absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
knowing that that's the only path you can take, unless you're going to live a life of mediocrity. And I don't say mediocrity as in any particular judgment of that, but mediocrity as in you're not being your best self.
Right. Exactly. I mean, that's the whole like biohacked life philosophy. That's what this show is all about. Is you'll never achieve your best self. Like,
No.
let's be honest.
No.
But
I will be a star.
you'll be a star.
Yes.
But that's not like that's not the ultimate version of yourself.
No, it's not. That's just my
Because
ego.
every time you improve, that ultimate version of yourself improves with
Correct.
it.
Yeah.
There's always gonna be a gap there. But it's living in the pursuit of that's living the biohacked life. Like that's what it's about. Like constantly improving, constantly learning. And I heard I just want to be in a growth mindset. And constantly saying, okay, what can I learn from this? What is trying to emerge out of me through this I'm going through right now? How can I become a better version of myself. Like that's just what I'm constantly doing.
I just love that about you, Rob. And we're kindred spirits in that way because I'm constantly doing that.
I told you that. That's like the whole reason I wanted to have you on here because I know you're that way. And okay, does it ever rub anybody the wrong way?
That I'm always trying to grow and improve.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I did send the text message to my family about Christmas, and my dad's like, "So we're not buying gifts anymore?" And my sister goes, "Well, I just love that." And then I went, "Y'all can buy me gifts all you want."
Right.
But I have to find my truth, and that is I'm looking for a more simplified, it's like simplified to amplify. I'm looking for a more simplified Christmas so that I can truly enjoy the gift of Christmas.
Right.
And not all of the tainted crap.
I agree.
Of course, you can always buy me diamond rings, and I'm okay with that too.
I'm not going to turn it down. Awesome. Okay. So your big purpose mission is you want to empower females.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I want to give women the permission to be wild and crazy and to find pleasure and joy and be who they're meant to be.
I love that. So if you had to give one last tip to all the females listening out there, what would it be?
You better find the brightest shade of lipstick that looks good on you, and you wear that. I'm telling you, you don't need whiter teeth. You need a brighter shade of lipstick. Works every time.
I love that. What a great answer.
It's true.
Like if you wear the brightest shade of lipstick, like I'm just imagining her. I don't wear lipstick.
Mine is all like wiped off, but
that's because you talk a lot.
Yeah.
But like that's like just keeping it real. I do too. I literally got told last night I talk a lot. I don't care. I'm passionate. I can't help it. But like if a woman puts on like her brightest shade of lipstick, she's instantly going to be empowered.
She is.
Yeah.
It's like she's showing up in the world. Because what a bright shade of lipstick does is it tells people, first, you're putting it on so that you can be noticed.
Right.
You're not trying to fade into the wallpaper. You're trying to be noticed. And then when you put it on, you walk out, you tell people, I'm worth you looking at me. Mm-hmm. You need to look at me and you need to listen to what I'm saying because I have confidence in myself. And I just think that not enough women know the power of lipstick.
Simple yet powerful. I love it. Okay, where can people find you?
MissCon.tv.
MissCon.tv.
It's short for Miss Congeniality.
As in not ex-con.
Yeah, I'm totally going to do a promotional picture. I haven't done it yet. I'm going to get a bright orange formal gown.
As you
I'm
should.
going to go behind bars at a local prison.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do this. And then there's going to be like, instead of numbers on me, it's going to say MissCon.tv. So nobody can spell Congeniality. And I know that was a total marketing foobar that I did by calling everything Miss Congeniality.
I've made that mistake before.
Oh, but you know what? It stuck. And so it's Miss as in Mississippi, MS, Congeniality. So my domain is mscon.tv. That's easy.
It's short.
MissCon.tv.
Yeah. My first business name was Conquering Genetics. Right?
Conquer. How do you spell conquer? And then E, is there an E before the I? And then genetics.
So
take me back to biology.
Totally dropped that. Yeah. It's
Conquering
still
genetics?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. What was it? What was it about?
Well, it's just like my coaching business.
Okay.
Because like I genetically could have said I'm just fat.
Okay.
So I decided to
conquer your genetics.
And now I work in nutrigenomics, which is the effects of nutrition on
you should call your business that.
I know, right? Good luck spelling that one too. So like, yeah, I love like not accepting what you were born as.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So, and I hate excuses. They really piss me off. Okay. So mscon.tv.
And I'm on YouTube. I'm on.
Oh, she's all over the place.
I'm on Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm on Instagram.
Jaimee Dorris, Miss Congeniality, everyone.
But you know, the funny thing is you say Jaimee Dorris, Miss Congeniality, and 3 of those words you can't spell. So Jaimee is Jaimee. So I tell people.
I forgot it has 2 E's on it.
Yes. And then Dorris has 2 R's. And so I tell people.
I knew Dorris, yeah.
Jaimee Dorris, 2 E's and 2 R's. Jaimee Dorris. Right. And then Congeniality. Oh, damn. It's misscon.tv.
Yeah. Better spell check that one. That ain't happening. Well, I want to appreciate you for a minute and saying thank you for the way you show up in the world. Like it's awesome to be around your infectious energy. Ever since the first night we met at the fashion show, You've just had this amazing energy where, yes, you want to be a star, I know, but you're always giving that energy to other people. And that's awesome. And I love that about you. So thank
so
you.
You're telling me I do give back.
That's exactly what I just said.
Yes. I mean, really, I need to hear that.
No, like that's what you do. Like you bring that energy to the world, but then you give it to other people. Like that's the whole reason you have this much energy is so you can pour it on other people and elevate them. So thank you for that. It's an awesome way. I wish more people would show up in the world. Like there is no like victim energy about you at all. It's just like this overcoming abundance of energy and love that is out there in service of the world. So thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
My heart's just like
just trying to help you. Just trying to help you fill that cup.
my cup of non-spice latte. Well, thank you so much for having me on the show, and I will continue to be a force that I can't stand to watch back.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. As long as you're helping other people, I don't care. So yes, thank you for coming on today. It's been a pleasure. And as always, guys, go follow her. Go watch Miss Congeniality. We had a really fun episode.
Robby D'Angelo.
Yeah, I even tried to poison her at one point. So yeah, guys, go follow her. And as always, join the Biohacked Life tribe on Facebook. That's where you can get all the updates and news about what's going on in the biohacked world. And ultimately, if you'd like to support the podcast, go to robbydangelo.com and click on Rise Up. That is the health initiative where we are promoting mental health in the schools. That's the ultimate mission of everything we do here is to promote that nonprofit. So guys, that's it for this edition of Biohacked Life. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
In the meantime, guys, go love, serve, and change the world. Catch you next time.